All right, so I wanna touch on a couple quick things. You pretty much covered the whole, that whole thing. So I want to ask, what's your or can you talk about the, I guess, origins of the issue that you got with Gully TV?
Damn, I'm kind of glad you like. I ain't been on Gully for a week. You gonna get me back on Gully? This what's up with Gully, man. See now, right, man? I'm gonna just roll with it. I don't like Gully now. Okay, like at this point, when you ask me what's the origins, I just had to go back in my mind and remember the first origins, right? But when I sit back and I start off by saying I don't like him, as I just went back in my mind to what started all the things that I suspected that I didn't like of him, he has shown them to me to be true to me, not to the world, to me. All right. This the first thing that really made it official that I had a problem with him as a person and as a content creator. Number one was this. He started talking about Wayne Perry on his platform after he had already done interviews pertaining to people like Pop and Iz and different persons that knew about the era and time, and he never really talked no jazz. He talked about Wayne, right? And then all of a sudden something occurred, and I think he interviewed the FBI guy or stole the content of the FBI guy, Dan Riley, from the Philly podcast that used to be the law enforcement. So he started calling Wayne all out his name. Started calling Wayne all type of homos and Muslim that was going to hell. And he made a statement without me using the derogatory positive statement. He said, man, all them niggas be killers and go to jail and change their name to Akbar or something with Kufis. That's almost me and every one of my homies that he ever met, right? So then he started trying to, in my opinion, trying to clean it up like, oh, I just don't like killers, right? But he was a groupie of Haitian Jack. He was a groupie of Sean Branch. He was a groupie of Alpo, who was a rat and a killer. I'm gonna just stop there. I mean, excuse me for mentioning rats in the name with good men, but I'm just saying he was a groupie of all these people, right? Once I started seeing it, I didn't want to say nothing about it, right? At first, because I was like, man, I shouldn't have to be the one to do it. But people that started watching my live streams, and some of them could have been instigating and putting fuel on the fire, started sending me clips of him sneak dissing me. They're going to talk about jail and, keep talking about Wayne Perry and blase, blase. So I don't, I had this thing with the Bama from out of Michigan for the longest. I despised him for being an Alpo lover and naming his channel Team Alpo and then talking to people from DC about it. Now, Gun and Cow Mother, that's his partner. That's her partner. She do a bunch of shows over there. She slandered loud people over there with the Up for Debate Bama all the time, right? Up for Debate started posting this shit calling me a rat. Now remember, no Alpo lover can ever really care that you're a rat. Remember, this is all, I want to make y'all understand this, but don't understand the code. A person that is an Alpo lover can never say that they don't like rats. He don't like me, and they believe that putting a rat label on a person works for him. Me sitting here talking to you about is more than I even really give it credit for, because that's allowing a narrative to fester. You feel me? But since that's what we talking about, that's what I'm addressing. Gully, knowing he can't do nothing physically with me, and I ain't getting into that. I started talking jazzy to Gully, saying, nigga, you better not even come back to DC, which I mean. He hop on the Up for Debate boy line and start saying, oh, Eyone a rat. Then I click on his page to see what he talking about one time on Instagram, where you can see, like, I come from my real page. I don't do the fake page. I came on my real page. He said something to the effect of, oh, rat boy, why you in here? I'm going to post your paperwork. He threatened me. Even though it's in Word, then send me a message behind it with his goofy ass with some plaid polo hoodie on, talking about you're not like me, you're not like this, you're not like that, you're not a gangster, you're a half-ounce nigga. That's why when I saw him say that he stole a purse that had $4 in it, no, $8 in it, and he broke it down with another guy, that's why I started riding him. But I think Gully's a fake dude. I think that he a gangster groupie, and I just stopped there. I ain't gonna use this opportunity or say all the stuff that I already said about him. I don't like him. He a gangster groupie, and he thought that he was gonna talk about Wayne by way of being cool with me or Sean or Twin. Bruh, let me let him know something right here on the platform though. I don't care if you're cool with Sean, Twin, Kurtbone, all them niggas is homies, and ain't no homie gonna go against a homie for you, goofy.
How do you feel about? Because I remember I've talked to you before, and you said you don't like that term, and you kind of talked about how he made claims that all you do is talk about like prison talk and everything. How do you, or can you explain why you don't like the term like being like institutionalized?
I'm not gonna say I don't like the term. Sometimes I defend it or dispute it when it's used, because some people use it straight out the pocket like it's just a dictionary word. That's why I'm not sure if we did that when we talked last time, but I explained the different forms of being institutionalized, from military to sports to school to jail. But I ain't right now that you ask me that right now. Maybe I'm in a different mood. I ain't really necessarily got no problem with being institutionalized. I mean, with the word institutionalized, but no one is going to throw no title of me being institutionalized on me, but not me asking or questioning them why. I'm not just going to say, oh, yeah, I was in an institution, and you say I'm institutionalized. How? Why? What's your understanding of it? So that's probably the way I came off at whenever we talked about it. But that's that's a way. But I'm going to tell you something. I don't mind being institutionalized to the point of security. I walk in the room, I put my back to the wall. I don't mind a person saying, oh, I'm institutionalized, because if you say something disrespectful to me, I analyze and focus in on the disrespect. I'm not going to say nobody I got a problem if when I get out my car, I lock my door and make sure there's nothing there to be stolen. Some mannerisms and behaviors I like. I ain't shying away from all that. Now, did I get all those things from prison? No. But some of the things I got from prison, let me say something to the person that think that they understand institutionalization so well. For me to get up at 6:30 in the morning, when I first came home, I used to get up at that time every time, because 5:30, because I used to get up before the doors pop, time to pray, blah, blah, blah. What's the difference in me being institutionalized from a prison aspect, or a guy that's coming home from the war, I mean real war, and he get up and he line his shoes up, and if it's a loud sound outside, he get up? Like, institutionalization does not just come from prison. It comes from being in environments or in situations where the behavior is repeated over and over and over again. So let's not just act like a jail nigga is the only nigga that can be institutionalized. And I ain't been to prison in 15 years. What make me a jail nigga? Other than I've been to jail. Like, a jail nigga is a nigga that's still on jail time, in and out of jail. I have not been to jail. I have not been to prison. And remember, I went to prison at 16, so it don't even count that I got out at 33. It just count that as how much time I did. But I have not got into a courtroom to get time in 30-some years. How did that make me a jail nigga? I got one conviction my whole life. On that one conviction, I spent 17 years in prison. So, other than me having jail experience, what make me a jail nigga to a person that don't know if I don't tell them my story?